Welcome to Faith Stories with Don DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
And welcome to Faith Stories. I'm Don DeMarco Buck. What is Faith Stories? Faith Stories are Christians from all walks of life who share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that you would come to know your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. How do you do that? Through His Word, which is the Bible. So if you need a Bible, please reach out to me at faithstorieswithdon@gmail.com. Okay, you guys, every week I want you to buy this book, share it, share it, share it. It's called Fields of Gomorrah. It was written by my dear friend Stacy Herring, who passed away in September of 2024. It's about a young girl who got in a fight with her mom. She ran away, got caught up in sex trafficking. It's a great tool for your kids to have them read a book about it, but it's not like intense, but it's an excellent page turner. So you guys check it out. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. We're going to be right back, and I'm going to introduce you to, I usually say my beautiful guest, but I'm going to say my handsome guest this time because he's a gentleman. So we'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at Broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632. Or visit www.tavilla.properties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdon@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdon@gmail.com. And welcome back. Okay, you guys, so my guest today, before I introduce him, I want to tell you how we met. And so my dear, beautiful friend Jessica Morgan, I call her Jessica McNeil, because I actually know her parents and have known her parents since she was born. And she was supposed to be here today but couldn't make it. So she said, I want you to talk to my big brother. And he's not really big brother, but he is. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how that goes. So his name is AJ Donaldson. And I'm going to read this because I don't want to mess it up because he's amazing, you guys. Wait till you hear what he does. Okay, so he's the CEO of United Mentors and founder of the Epic Foundation. AJ is a visionary leader dedicated to transforming education and mentorship. A South Florida native and a University of Miami alumni. Come on, you people, hello. Okay. He founded United Mentors in 2012 to bridge the gap between traditional education and personalized academic support, helping students succeed academically in life. And I think that is so important for your child. So AJ, yay, you're here.
I'm here.
He's here. And by the way, ladies, he's single and he's adorable.
Oh,
okay.
boy. Oh, this is where we're starting. Got it. All right.
I love doing that. Because he's a handsome guy, you guys.
I appreciate it.
Ladies.
Whoa. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, AJ. So talk to me. I know you shared with me that you were raised by your mom, she was a single mom. And that alone is already an uphill battle, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit about that, your faith, and then let's talk about all the things that you do. He does a lot, you guys.
Yeah.
He's extremely, wow.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. I mean, and thank you for the introduction. Thank you for this platform.
Yeah.
You know, for us to be able to tell our stories, to be able to share from like you said, a Christian perspective. Yeah. And the word Christian in of itself, that faith-filled living, I have actually had those struggles. You know, we talk about what is it to be a Christian, and growing up in a private school.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. growing up in a Christian home, if you
Right.
will, and even going to a private school, which Jessica and I share as alumni of that school, the dynamics of aspiring to be what Christian means. A Christian is Christ-like, right? So we're aspiring to be Christ-like.
Yep.
But when they give you that identity, how do you identify? Do you identify as a Christian? Do you identify? It's like, yes, this is what we claim is that He is our Savior, and He is
Absolutely.
continually delivering us from our sin
Every
nature
day, every moment.
single day.
Right?
And you mentioned a single family home. You mentioned my mom, which,
Yeah.
I always honor her by sharing the background in a home like that. Spare the rod, spoil the child,
Sure.
by way of Jamaica. So as we say, my mom put the D in discipline. There were no idle hands at my house
Well,
whatsoever.
I can see that because of who you are today.
you.
Oh my God, that speaks volumes of your mom,
yes.
right?
A lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
She sacrificed, like I said, a lot of what she would want to do for what I needed. And then, of course, there was not just her, but there was also the community.
Yeah.
So, like I said, with the discipline that she gave, there was the academic prowess. There was the fact that, yes, I stand at 6'2", and back then even larger. So I had the athletic prowess. Again,
Right.
go Canes.
Hey, what position did you play?
So I was a converted linebacker turned fullback, right? If you can imagine,
really?
yeah,
No.
I'm like right now I am the size of a Kenyan compared. I joke like I'm very slim compared to what I used to be. I was 245 and I was a bowling ball. I was just
my
knocking people
God.
out. Yes,
That is so funny.
it was fun. It was a good time.
Wow. Wow.
But mom wasn't about the football life.
No,
Mom
of
was
course
about
not. You
do
gotta
your
do your-
math
Yes.
and play your piano.
Yes.
Learn
Oh,
an
you can play
instrument. I
piano.
can play the piano.
Wow.
Yes.
Ladies, he's well-rounded.
Oh my goodness, yes. Jazz saxophone too, so that's also present.
kidding.
No, that's mom.
Wow.
My mom did not play.
Hello.
Yeah, that was all mom. That is not for me, talking about myself, but that was mom. All her hard work. Yeah.
Oh, God bless Mom. And
Yes.
you lost Mom a couple of years ago, you said?
Yes, 2023. It's been 2
so
years
sorry.
now, and grief is a real thing. That's something that we don't talk about a lot about in a church environment per se.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about for us. Is we're really looking to extend access. This is the information we don't know.
Right.
So being able to how do you even take on grief, right? When losing a loved one is a real thing. God
yeah.
says tomorrow's not promised.
No.
Right? So we don't know
Later
where we're going to
today
go.
isn't promised, right?
Later today isn't promised,
Yeah.
100%.
You better know where you're going.
Better know where you're going and how to
Going
deal
to
with
heaven.
it. Because they're gone, right? They transition, they're in
Right.
heaven, and my son said it
Hanging with
best.
Jesus.
Hanging with Jesus. And my son said it best. It's like, when we looked at my 10-year-old at the time, he said, well, you're not crying, you're not grieving like what's present. And he said, well, grandma's in heaven, she's not suffering anymore, she's
Right.
dancing, get this, in her 33-year-old legs.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean, son? Like, why did you say 33? He said, well, Jesus
Jesus.
died at 33, so I figured
love
everybody
that.
in heaven's
Oh,
33.
I like that because I looked really good at 33.
Right? Yeah. Girl, let me tell
I'm
you.
with your son.
So I mean, that's a big testament to my mom's faith that even poured into him, right? That matriculated through me to him. Her time with him was beautiful.
Wow.
He plays the piano too. He's 12 years old now, almost 6 foot tall.
Is he
plays
really?
basketball. Yes.
12 and he's 6'2".
He's almost 6 foot tall. He's
Oh my
he's getting
God.
there. He's getting close. Yeah.
Does he want to play football?
No, thank
Good,
God.
good.
Thank God. He would like it, but he's
brutal.
very much gravitated towards basketball.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That's a little bit.
A little better, definitely the impact. I mean, I told
not as hard.
I told my friends when I turned 36, I felt like I turned 63.
Oh, really?
Oh, my back and my
can't
knee. And it's like,
imagine.
oh my
And
goodness.
you get beat up
Yeah.
for continuously.
Constantly. Constant
Oh my Lord.
impact. Constant
Especially
impact.
if you were a fullback.
It's
and a
like,
linebacker.
hit that guy over there, yes, please.
Yeah.
That was
Open
literally
it
the
up
job.
for the guy behind me.
Right,
will you?
exactly, exactly. 100%.
I can do that.
Yes, absolutely. But she was a cornerstone on how all this got started,
Yeah.
right? Because as a single mom, she can only do as much as she could do, right? She couldn't be
Yeah.
a dad, even though my mom would always talk about I should get a Father's Day gift as well. She couldn't be dad no matter
No,
what
no.
at the end of the day. So there were
It's not
men
possible.
in the community that I would lean on, and thank God we had the church because that was the presence, that was the environment my mother brought me in. So I was able to lean on some of those men who have their families and get that mentorship from them.
I think that is so important. I'm not a mom, but having that male role and the female role is so important for kids to understand because men can only teach you how to be a man.
Yeah.
A woman can't.
Right.
We don't have that capability.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the nurturers, and we love on our children, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and it's funny because with my mother, she was very tough, on us in that respect, and that whole masculine growth. It was funny because I would talk about not necessarily missing the nurturing spirit of a mother
Right.
because my mom was so tough. You know what I mean?
She had to be.
She
was
had
a
to be.
single mom.
Yes, absolutely.
She was a fighter. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, only child.
Oh, wow,
So I
okay.
got, it's funny. So I would get, again, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Right.
So I would get one punishment and like 3 lectures.
Okay.
Because as much as like, oh, you must have been spoiled, I was like, that was not the kind of attention I was looking for.
Right.
Right? Because my mom was one of 4 sisters.
Okay.
None of them had any other children. Right? They were all consummate professionals. So they were all raising me both present and afar.
Oh, okay. So you had 4 moms.
4 moms. Absolutely.
Ooh,
4
that's
moms.
That's intense.
Yeah, oh yeah. Especially 4 Jamaican women. 4 Jamaican women. Okay, let's get this right.
So I don't know, because I don't know, like, yeah, I can imagine.
Yes.
But, okay.
They didn't pull any punches. Let's just put it like that.
But that's good. That was
Yes.
good for you. Because,
I
mean, you're the product that you are today.
I appreciate it.
Right?
Yeah, we pay it forward. That's what it is now. And so, having United Mentors, having Epic Foundation, a lot of this was birthed out of that mentorship that raised me because, like I said, I did very well in school because I didn't have a choice with my mom. It was 4.0 GPA, 1400 SAT score, got a full academic scholarship
To the
to the
UM?
University of Miami. So though I played football, I wasn't on a football scholarship. They didn't have any football scholarships back then, actually.
Really?
So, oh yeah. So people, they were in
Who was the coach then?
Butch Davis at the time.
I remember him.
Yeah. So they were under,
Butch
probation and all that
Davis.
stuff was going
When
on.
did Jimmy Johnson come? Was it before
He was,
him?
oh
or
yeah, he was
after?
before. He was before. I think
okay.
a coach or 2 before, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that era in of itself. So going to the University of Miami in full scholarship, academic scholarship, walking on to the University of Miami football field, having an opportunity to build a scholarship there, and then getting injured, right? Almost literally breaking my back while
you
playing the
really?
sport. Yeah. The only reason I'm upright and center is by God's grace.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
chiropractors, great physical therapists that allowed me to stand upright today.
Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Did it happen what happened on the field? Were you in a game or
I-
was it in practice?
It was during practice, but I was very good. I was a big hitter, right? So people they would see me coming and they would shy away.
Get out of the way.
And every once in a while, they would send a fullback on a pass route. I went up and I was athletic enough to jump up for a bad ball. And then the guy took my legs from underneath me and I landed flat
you're
on my
vulnerable.
coccyx.
Yeah.
Yep. So my hip shifts. So your C7 and all those things. So your pinched nerves and sciatic and all the things, which is some of the most painful when your nerves get pinched.
No kidding.
I've had women tell me, and I don't say this, but I've had women tell me it's second to childbirth.
Really?
That's how bad the pain is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. By God's grace, and I'm very, very present to that. And, a lot of times the religious aspect of it can segment and segregate people. But, I don't believe, and again, if you read the word, where Jesus actually came in was to abolish all that.
There you go.
Right?
He was flipping the
Flipping-
tables, man.
We don't
What?
talk about that enough. Jesus
That's what I
did
love
what?
about Jesus. He flipped those
Flipped
tables. He
tables?
was against the religion.
Listen, I got
Religious.
a big shout out to a buddy of mine, Monte Benjamin. He's a Christian comedian, incredible comedian, very brilliant. He tells this joke, and I'm going to ruin it, but he tells this joke how he's like, you got to understand that Jesus was so intentional about what happened though. Like this man went over, and the Bible says he fashioned a cat of 9 tails, which means as a carpenter, he took a moment. He's like, oh, y'all tripping? Okay, I'll be right back. He went over and he put together a whip.
I know. I saw The Chosen. I watched that.
Oh.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So he
It's
took a
good.
moment. He was like, I got something for you. I'll be right back. So the intention was powerful.
Oh, flipping the tables. When people say to me, "Oh, you're religious," I'm like, no, I'm not.
Nope.
I'm a woman of faith.
Absolutely.
I believe the Lord, my Jesus, my Lord and Savior. I am not a religious
No.
person. Religion is based on rules and laws, which is not what Jesus came to this earth for, right?
Disrupted it all in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
So we have to say, so those distinctions are things that a lot of people in the world just don't understand. Just like in education. Like the reason why I'm there is to be a disruptor.
Right.
Because a lot of times we were programmed that the only way to be successful in life is to go to school, right?
Right.
And we know school has its place.
All it does is put you in debt.
But the school, right. I mean, I left University of Miami after a full scholarship, 60 grand in debt. How does that make any sense?
Oh my gosh, how'd that happen?
Well, that's a 5-year degree, 168 credits to graduate my double engineering degree.
Oh my gosh.
No one told you about that coming in with a 4-year scholarship.
Smart two ladies.
Well, it's funny. I'm embarrassed. Like you see a black man blushing. So in that, and thank you for that, and I appreciate it because some of these distinctions that we're trying to cause people to understand, like a faith walk, to be a believer isn't necessarily religious, not religion, the segmentation.
Not even close.
And the same parallels in that same context of schooling versus education, right? School was almost a cradle to career journey,
Right.
It was literally modeled for your kid to come in, be stuck in this box, learn what you need to learn, and get out. When you go back to the original founders of what the school system was causing back in the industrial age, right?
Right.
Education's from cradle to the grave. It's forever.
Always learning.
You're always learning.
Yeah.
There's so much out there you just don't know. You don't know. And
Right.
this is
You don't know
exactly
what you
why.
don't know, right?
Yeah, this is exactly why we had to found the organizations that we have, is to bridge the gap and make sure that kids understand, number one, school's not enough. It has its place. Go to school, go to school, go to school.
Right.
But more. You have to do more.
So United Mentor was founded in 2012.
2012, yes.
So how did that come about? I know I understand that, but I want to lay that foundation
please.
of what that looks like.
So United Mentors was essentially a rebrand of my original company, which started with Jessica. Shout out to Jessica McNeil
We
Clark.
love Jessica.
Right? So it started with Jessica because of what happened with Don and saying, hey, help my daughter, right? So the original tutoring company was actually called Donaldson Scholar Mentors. Why? Because I was 25. I didn't know anything about branding.
Right, I know.
I just wanted my name on it. That was all it was. And I never really liked the term tutoring, right? I felt like, again, it wasn't enough.
Sure.
And I felt the kids needed to be seen. They wanted to feel heard.
Yeah.
They needed a voice and understood. So we coined the phrase academic mentoring.
Which I love that.
Yes, over the tutoring
Because
aspect.
it's so much more important than just learning. You want to be a mentor to show them how to succeed in life.
Right.
Because who does that? The school doesn't do
100%. Listen.
Sorry, I mean, it's true.
It's the
School
truth.
doesn't do that.
And the reality is there's a lot of things shifting as of 2025, right? There's a lot of things shifting. And I can speak directly into that. When we think about Jessica's journey, since this is a mutual friend of ours, right? When she comes into the room traumatized by this experience, she's now created a trauma response, right? Fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. This is what's happening in us as human beings. So when we now sat down, it wasn't for me to dive right into the trigonometry. I had to literally push the book aside and say, sweetheart, who hurt you? We had to talk about that first. We had to bring her to a place of peace, and then we were able to deliver the instruction that then landed to the point where she got a B+, almost an A in the class.
Wow. I failed geometry. I got a D, and I was like, I'm only giving you a D because you tried.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I know, I sucked.
D forever. Good on him for giving that
Straight A in algebra, but the math teacher said, "Oh, you're going to do terrible in geometry." Well, hello, I'm how old? 15 years old, and of course, there you go.
The math teacher said, y'all heard that? The math teacher. These are some of the educators.
And I don't think she meant it.
They don't. Right. The intention isn't malicious.
I'm not saying she was mean or anything, but that just planted that seed.
It planted the seed.
And
that shows the impact. Right, and mind you, when we talk about disparity as to who's really raising our kids, it's supposed to be the parents' responsibility. But our kids are at school from 7 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they got to come home and do homework, and that's even if they don't have extracurricular activities.
Oh, I know, it's crazy nowadays.
So really, there is a shared responsibility based on truancy and truant law that the school system is also a part of the upbringing and raising and the outcomes that are and are not. Right, so we have to own that. So our disruption in that space is to supplement. Right, to say just like you take your vitamins because you got to supplement what's not in your food. Hey, we need to add on. School's not enough. You got to do more. You got to do more. You got to do more. And then the addition to that is really being a whole space for kids to actually increase their EQ as much as their IQ. Social emotional intelligence is important, right? I didn't learn about the emotional wheel until I was 42 years old in the middle of grief counseling. There's an emotional wheel? What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, men aren't in touch with their emotions. Women, hello, we are.
And it's funny you say that because who trains and develop you there's a space that's left for that. There's almost like a permission that you're allotted and allowed versus for us as men. Right? And so even being raised by a Jamaican mother, there was only two sides of the emotional wheel I saw. It was either she was happy or she was mad. That was it. That was it.
Oh my gosh.
There's no sad, there's no scared. You can't afford to be scared. We got to keep it moving.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So that strength that you guys personify, but at the same time, it did not give me the education, the EQ, right? The emotional intelligence and quotient to really know. And this was a woman raising a man. So in this society, even double worse as to like, no, you hurt yourself, go ahead and pick yourself up and brush yourself off, put some dirt on it. Keep it moving.
That's Peyton Manning. Just rub some dirt on it.
Exactly. So we're now extending access into that. And of course, For the Epic Foundation, experienced professionals impacting
So when
communities.
did you found this?
So it's a part of United Mentors history.
Okay,
So when I rebranded from 2005 to 2012,
Okay.
in 2012 is when United Mentors was founded. Around 2014, we realized I didn't get into the business just to help kids that come from families who can afford services.
Right.
We wanted to help kids.
Right.
Period. End of story.
Exactly.
So underserved, underprivileged, it was all the same to us. But again, at times they can't afford these services.
They can't.
And I'm going to church learning about tithing and offering and all these things.
So this can be part of your tithe.
Boom, literally.
It
Because
doesn't have to go to the church. And please forgive me for
100%.
all those pastors going, oh, Dawn.
right.
You can tithe in different
Yes.
ways, and doing what you're doing is so phenomenal.
Thank you. Yes, appreciate it. The building funds? We all know the building funds and the meters going up. And I noticed at times that there was a lot of building funds and buildings never get built.
Right.
So I decided to redirect some of my capital and some of my offering to the community directly. It started with 2 kids. Listen to this. 2 kids in 2014, right?
Okay.
2014.
That's 11 years ago, not
11 years ago. You just said that you celebrated an anniversary, a year anniversary.
1
Congratulations
year,
to you.
baby.
1 year
Yeah.
on air, right? Doing the things. April 3rd. Our anniversary was actually April 1st, funny enough.
Get out of here.
No coincidences. So imagine 2 children have now turned to over 1,200, 1,000.
AJ, that's amazing.
Thank you. And $1,000 has now turned into over $500,000 given away in scholarships and
Oh
programming.
my gosh. Oh, I love that.
Yes,
oh, I
thank
love
you.
that. See, my jewelry company that I had, and the one that I have now, I give a portion back to charity.
Beautiful.
I raised $128,000. It
There you
wasn't
go.
$500,000.
Yes.
But,
Well, that's huge.
It's my heart.
Yes.
It's my heart to give back. It's
Absolutely.
to help people. So I love that.
Thank you.
God, ladies, really. He's single.
So scholarships,
Handsome,
mentorship.
right?
Like I'm back in school.
A
I'm back in
dating show.
school.
Face story.
I'm back in school. I'm like redirecting. I'm
Okay,
like
sorry.
redirecting.
I'm
Back
so
in
sorry,
class.
AJ.
I'm
Go ahead,
redirect.
go ahead. Okay, so Epic. Talk about Epic.
Yeah, so thank you. So
I got sidetracked there.
No worries. So experienced professionals impact communities. EPIC is an acronym, just like almost everything in education
Right,
in this
right.
world. So we love, obviously, there's a lot of emphasis on the impact, but it's about experienced professionals. We're really looking to organize people like yourself who
Yeah.
really care about the community. But there's a lot of segregation. There's a lot of separation, dilution of our resources because there are 16,000 nonprofits in South Florida alone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about dilution of resources.
How do you, yeah.
So how much stronger would we be if we all came together? Things
Right.
like learning that the NFL, education, I didn't know this before, the NFL is a non-profit structure,
Which it shouldn't be. Sorry.
right? Everybody has
Hello. I mean, come on. What the
equity
heck?
ownership, things of that nature. You can't own a nonprofit, 501c3s, 501. There's so many tax exemptions that
Right.
we just don't know about.
Yeah.
I learned during COVID, Rolex is also a nonprofit structure.
What? Oh
Wow,
my God.
look it up.
It's
It's crazy.
Seriously,
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
wild.
not right. That's so not right.
But again, we may be buying $10, $20, $30,000 watches. They're building their community.
Yeah.
They're leveraging that revenue because nonprofit doesn't mean non-revenue.
Right. That's true.
Two different
That's
things, right? So it's being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, just like
Right.
the good word says, right? It's being able to take that information that we do not know and then educate ourselves and then grow it in an intentional manner.
Yeah.
So that's where Epic started. I started redirecting some of my tithe directly to the community, and the rest is history. We've got a golf tournament coming up, so
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So where's the golf tournament gonna be?
Jacaranda, April 29th,
In
right? You can go on our
Plantation, you
website and look
guys.
for a link. No more sponsors. Unfortunately, we got our sponsorships. But
Well,
if you
that's
wanna
a blessing.
It's a
That's a
great
huge
thing.
blessing.
There's a lot of relationship capital, right? Our human
Yeah.
capital is the relationships we've actually culminated through 11, 20 years of being in the community, helping children, because all these business owners have kids.
Right.
Right? So
And they want to align with that.
Yes.
Yeah. So listen, let's take a quick break
Yes.
and we'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavilla.com.
faithstoriesproperties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. And welcome back. Okay, AJ, so let's wrap it up. Unfortunately, we only have a little bit of time, so I'm going to let you just share what you want to share and talk about your golf tournament or whatever else you wanted to share.
Well, yeah, so April 29th is our golf tournament. It's our third annual golf tournament. Big shout out to one of our longtime supporters, Draft Pros, Corel Gomez. He's actually a part of our board, an incredible human being. So this is a part of the design with our nonprofit, for-profit integration.
Okay.
Right, because you have major companies like that want to do their social responsibility and give.
Absolutely.
And to understand actually how to help them see a return. Well, no, you're supposed to give with no expectation of return. I get it. But to make it more sustainable long term, we do want to help them to grow and expand their business practices.
Sure.
So all it is just organizing organizations and bringing relationships together.
Yeah.
Because we're stronger together. So, April 29th, you can go to our website, epicsouthflorida.org, epicsouthflorida.org. They can follow us on social media at Epic. They can always just connect, share, like, comment.
Can they just come to the golf tournament and not play?
Yeah, they can, so that you can get a single golfer. You don't necessarily have to do a foursome or a sponsorship, but you do have to be playing in that respect, like we are.
Well, that leaves me out.
Yeah. She was just come hanging out in the golf cart.
That's what I did with Mac's tournaments. I would just go and hang out.
Hey, you can volunteer to say come volunteer and help us do the things that we need.
I did the silent auction with Rhonda. I was like helping bring in,
no, it's amazing. So we have that. We just want everybody to connect. So, if you follow us online, you can reach out to us. You can go to our website and connect through that way. We really just want to spread the good news.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
We're spreading the good news that there absolutely is a way to sustain your nonprofit organization, to make sure that we're actually making an impact by aligning and bringing everybody together. That's the mission. We are all Epic. We are all, anybody who wants to do good in the world is Epic, and we just want to organize all of you.
Yeah. Amen.
Yes.
Oh, God. I had way too much fun with you.
I can do this again.
I just enjoyed this.
Tune in again.
Oh, man. So thank you for coming on.
An honor.
And you can come back anytime.
I'm down.
Okay.
Let me know.
I'll let you know if I get any,
Oh,
any
boy.
ladies going, Dawn, I want to meet him.
Oh, boy.
All
Mommy.
Don't worry, I'll vet them before.
Yes, please, by all means.
I've had a couple people that I've set up, they've gotten married.
Wow.
And, you got to do the, anyway, I won't go into that. That's another show.
What?
So I'll share afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, you guys. So next week I have Paula Applegate, and she's with Quick Kids, and she's awesome. She's high energy. You're gonna love her. And you guys, listen. That's next Wednesday at 3:00. I also want you to share this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and check out all the social media that we have for Faith Stories. All right, you guys have a blessed week, and we'll see you next week at 3:00. Ciao.
Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.